you're watching a video, either in your head or out loud, why aren't her sound waves working? Why aren't they getting through? That's a very good question that you may be asking yourself, or many others.
Indeed.
The reason why is because these high pitches, or as I call them, low pitch sound waves, are emitting a higher pitch that exceeds the normal pitches. Basically, the high pitch is saying, is over voicing the low pitch, the normal pitch, as if it were a.
Kind of like a takeover.
Yes, exactly, like a takeover. Now, compared to high pitch voice, or as some would call it, a low pitch.
For the record, he does have angry eyes in the visual description right here.
Yes, I do have angry eyes. I occasionally am angry when I'm yelling at someone.
Yes. And it looks like an angry face. Mouth.
Yeah, it's a sad face, but most people are usually frowning when they're angry.
Correct.
And sometimes they have a straight face, a blank face.
Okay.
And here are my sound waves. Now, do you notice the difference between these two sound waves?
Yes, yours are a lot larger and they're overtaking his.
Well, granted, they're high-pitched sound waves, which means they expand over time. They get bigger and bigger over time.
Okay.
And depending on a person's vocal cords, that also helps expand these. So if someone's talking like this, but it sounds like this, that's their attempt at making a normal voice. Or if someone's, they're trying to talk like this.
Okay. Let's see.
Like a tall person might generally have high vocal cords that make him sound like this because he has to speak up.
Okay.
And a small person might have something like this.
So, basically what you're trying to show with the visual demonstration as well is that if somebody has really they're just really taking over the whole room and they're really loud and their screeching is just so extreme that what you think the way to solve that is to make your low pitch, as you call it, or you call it high pitch, voice expand and overdo theirs. Is that correct?
Yes, but depending on the room, sometimes it's okay to yell that loud, and okay, as I'm going to show you now, with twin colors combined, and green.
Okay.
Dude, I went down the slide and then just splashed right in the water and I drowned.
Mikey's sound waves were bouncing off the walls here,
Yes.
here,
I'm too
here, and here, but there was a doorway here, and I could hear his sound waves out here, which is the hallway, as you can see here. And I was yelling into the room here, and Mikey heard me. Because if I didn't increase my vocal cords, then my sound waves, then it'd be like your sound waves, and I wouldn't be able to get to him. Now, note that I wasn't trying to scare anyone. I was just trying to get to him. I wasn't trying to sound angry. I wasn't trying to sound like I was trying to be bossy.
Okay.
I was just trying to inform him.
Right, okay, I understand. You were trying to like outspeak his sound waves, kind of like bloop, 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 block him out over.
Yeah, try to get my sound waves big enough and loud enough to where they can bypass these sound waves. Because Mikey might not realize that his high-pitched screech is affecting everyone.
But my only thing, I totally understand where you're coming from, but this is my thoughts on it is that, let me draw this so we can get an idea. Can we delete that?
Yeah, I was going to do it because I thought you wanted to do that.
Yes. Okay, so here we have Mikey. And I'm not an artist either, so I'm going with the.
Yeah, it's generally what children would do when they're young.
Okay. And then here's you. Gonna make you a little bigger because you're a lot taller than us. And then here's me. Which my head's not always that big. But just okay. Now, what I think is that if everyone has enough personal space, and if we all use normal tones, you know, blue?
Yeah, I was blue. Mikey was white.
If we all use normal, or as we call them, normal pitch sound waves, then, oh yeah,
Yeah, I was pretty
then there's no need for overtaking somebody's space or overtaking somebody's sound waves. And this way, everybody is, as they get normal, they get smaller. So everybody's able to hear everybody and work it out. Because if you're trying to tell me about a movie you watched last night, and instead of me listening and quietly listening, and me coming up here and saying, "No, I saw that movie, da, da, da." I'm not being mean or bossy, I'm just trying to tell you, wait, I've seen that movie, I want to tell you all about it first.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to do. That's exactly what I was trying to do, Tori. That's exactly what I was trying to do with Mikey when he was screeching.
Right, but sometimes, instead of giving anybody space or overtaking their voice, it's better to stop and wait. So after he's done screeching, as a friend, because you're not a teacher, as a friend, you say, "Mikey, that was so loud, you hurt my ears, that's pretty disrespectful." Or you can say whatever, "It was rude, your sound waves are in my space," however you want to say it. And then that causes a chain reaction, and it makes him automatically, when you talk to people quieter, it automatically makes them start talking quieter. So sometimes you want to create a chain reaction with that. Because, like dogs, if they bark when you walk in the house, if you're telling them, "Sit down, shut up," they get all hyped up. If you just go there quietly, it starts to and bring it down, bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. Then it starts a chain reaction to where their sound waves are not in my personal space and they're not overtaking me because I haven't overtaken them. So I understand that you were not being bossy, you were not trying to be bossy, you were not trying to be mean, and you were not even really angry too much. You were just reacting to a very loud pitch. Am I correct? Okay. So, I think what we should do is maybe, since it's a science, we should maybe track it. So let's try doing it the way I recommend it, because I'm older and I've been there and I'm a teacher.
Yeah.
Try it that way.
Yeah, guys, your elders have been there, your parents have been there, so don't yell at your parents. Don't say that they have no idea what you went through.
We're just trying to help.
There's a new way. Granted, everything's different from how they did it back when they were kids, but they've been through it all. They've been through it. They might not know what it is that you're talking about, or what it is that you did, or how it works. Understand that they know. They may not say it. They may say, I know. They might not know what it is that you're talking about, or they might know what you're talking about, but trust me, your elders know what you've gone through. They might not act like it. They've been there.
We've done it.
They just try to act their age. They try to act your age. And parents and other elders, don't try to act like, don't use how to be hip books, because those are just useless.
Yeah.
Whoever made those must have been, I don't know, somewhere in the 70s, 80s, 60s, I don't know.
Way back in the black and white days.
Yeah, way back before there was even color.
Yeah.
Because you may hear teenagers use stuff like that, like words like that. Trust me, they don't. If they do actually use that, then use it with them. But first, before you actually try to use it, understand what it is that they're saying. That way you can understand what they're saying.
Very good point, Dylan, very good point. So,
Oh, and parents, if your daughter, your son, or whatever says, I hate you, you have no idea what I'm going through, it's because they want to try to take it on by themselves. But that does not mean that you should give up, that you should let them take it on head on by themselves. Be there to support them. Your parents, you've been through it before. You're supposed to be there for your children. Even if they're old and they say they hate you, they don't want anything to do with you, they're just venting. They don't actually mean it. Even if you had a bad time with your children, like they weren't raised well. Many people may say that your child wasn't raised well. That's the way that you raised them. And it may be because of the school, or maybe because how they grew up or whatever. Or maybe it's in their genes, I don't know. Nobody knows.
just accept them and respect them for being who they are. It's
Yeah,
just
but that doesn't mean go easy on them.
No,
If they messed up,
they need to learn.
use a hammer on them. Slam the hammer right on them. Don't use a literal hammer.
Yeah, I was gonna say not literally.
Do not use a literal hammer.
No.
For those of you that do streams and have this band hammer thing, that kind of hammer. Drop the hammer on them.
Yeah. Give them the what for, is what I'd say.
But if your son got a girl pregnant, ask him, does he love her? If he does not love her, then slap his face, then smack him upside the head.
Woo! I do not want to be your son.
Why would you get a girl pregnant if you did not love her?
Crazy.
And children,
Use your brain, kids. Come
and
on.
children, you came from heaven, a stork, and yes, I'm going to stick with the stork story because I do not know I don't know how many children have actually been told
Gotcha.
the story
Gotcha.
of how they came together. But considering how old I am, and know that I am 17,
Almost 18.
nearly 18. Next year on February 4th, I will be 18. I have been through a lot, and you have no idea what I went through as a kid. But thankfully, I came to this school after the umpteenth school I've gone to. Actually, the last school I went to, I nearly went to jail for it. I threw a pencil at a girl's eye, at a girl right here. Bye, Brian.
Bye, Tori.
I had a girl here, right here in the eye. Right here. As you can see by my finger, I'm pointing there. Where you can feel a bone. If you can feel a bone there, then that's where I hit her. Thankfully, she did not get lead poisoning and she did not die, and I did not hit her actual eye. I just partially got into her eye. I was pulled out, and it was nearly Thanksgiving break by the time that I actually came to this school. And this isn't the original school building itself. It was a few years ago that I actually came here. And this girl, Hope, the girl that I threw the pencil at, she was trouble. She kept getting me in trouble, and she was the main reason why I was always so angry. She was the main reason why my temper was so bad. And my temper, it may not be as bad as it was before. Oh, and Tori, describe to them how I was when I first came here, how bad I was.
Well, I don't know if you have that much videotape, but I'll try to round it into something really small. And
trust me,
before I say anything,
when they say spawn of demon, they don't mean your average everyday demon. It's basically Satan demon.
he basically, I wouldn't call any of my students names or anything like that, or refer to them as demons, but he had a very, very hard time with learning how to control his temper and learning how to communicate. So, for the first couple of years, he was quite the handful. He got angry, but he worked so hard. We all worked so hard to learn skills to communicate and say what we feel and to be honest and to work through it. And now he is awesome. He is,
Yeah, the
he
first
works
day I met
things out
Rachel
instead of throwing desks or throwing shoes at my head or anything like that.
Yeah, I used to flip desks and throw chairs and shoes at people.
Yeah, stab people in the arm. I mean, you name it. He He wouldn't talk was the biggest thing. It's just whenever he was upset, he wouldn't talk. And I would say, Dylan, the only way to work a problem out is to talk about it. So he would just sit there and go, So,
Yeah, and if you guys remember the random things that happened at my school video, Rachel, the girl with glasses, when she first came here, she was trying to help me, but she didn't know that that people were to stay away from me if I lost my temper. I wound up hitting her.
yeah. Sometimes
And she
people
learned.
want to help, but people cope in different ways. Some people need to get away and just give me some time to get away and chill out for a little bit.
Like
And
me.
then I'll be ready. Yeah, walk away and come back to it later. That's what I would say.
And of course, there's Rainbow Dash.
Oh, yeah. So, anyway, well, we got a lot done today, but unfortunately, it's 2:05, so I've got to go get my son off the bus.
Yep.
So I think we got a lot covered. So I say in closing, maybe we should look at trying to do the personal space and trying, especially since you're such a good role model with being older around
Yeah, I'm
here.
trying to be a role model.
Yeah, a lot of the
And
other kids are
apparently,
still
I'm a role
learning.
model to everyone.
Yeah, so a lot of the younger kids are still learning. So maybe to help Mike, because I know he's your buddy, you know he's